Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Real Leel, and I am back again. Every day, there are news going on in the world of sports and pop culture, and I get my unique takes on them. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the latest updates on these hottest news and see the full episodes of my radio shows, The Real Leel Show, college and podcast version, In the Huddle, and What's Your Grind Like podcast. Daily updates, breaking news on my Instagram page, weekly blogs. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy the content. Yes, sir! It's your boy, Real Leel, and I am back again, bringing you another episode of the Real Leel Show Conversations, right? Not the Real Leel Show, but Conversations with your boy, Real Leel, because my Real Leel Show was canceled earlier, and it kind of got me upset. You know, how you cancel one of the great shows out here? For whatever reason, stuff with the equipment or whatever. So, they had to cancel that show. They got everything fixed. I was able to do the second show, but it was a hip-hop podcast. And I missed out on talking on my sports the way how I wanted to talk about the sports because my two co-hosts don't know sports like that. So, kind of messed me up a little bit. But I said, you know what? Instead of me just not talking about it, let me come in my basement, chill, relax, and talk about sports to the people that's watching. And to be quite frankly with you, the last video that I did in my basement is actually my most viewed video of them all. I did a video in my basement, a 20-minute recap of the Pacquiao and Broner fight back in January in my basement. I said, you know what, hey, what the heck? And I thought it was going to be garbage, but it actually was my most viewed video, you know, so hey, we might as well try it out again and see what happens, right? So I'm going to try to, you know, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to try to run it in the same format that I would a regular show, but it might be different, obviously, because we're not in that setting. But anyway, right? We're about to get into some sports talk right now for y'all sports fans. But I'm going to start off with my Real Leel blog for this week, and it's on the Real Fans Will Talk website right now. You can check it out. Real Fans Will Talk, and it's called Equality Should Be a Policy, right? So, the U.S. women's national soccer team defeated Netherlands 2-0, winning the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup for the second straight year. The victory was not only good for the accolades, but it pointed out issues at hand plaguing society, which is inequality for women. In gender equality, the United States ranks 28 in the world. The women's received over 1 million for winning the 2015 event, while the men received over 5 million just for reaching the round of 16. Interesting. The U.S. viewership of the 2019 Women's World Cup final was 22% higher than the 2018 men's final. If the revenue is bringing home the bacon, why isn't the women's soccer team being paid as much, if not more, than men? Megan, who is the co-captain of the women's soccer team, recently went on CNN to voice her opinion in this like for President Trump, who is known for his violence toward women and his racist remarks toward people of color. Megan said, and I quote, "Your message is excluding people. You're excluding me. You're excluding people that look like me. You're excluding people of color. You're excluding Americans that maybe support you." Megan smirked while refusing to sing the national anthem or put her hand over her heart in her stance for protest for women's equality. Whether it's Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, whether it's Moffett McGraw going on an epic rant on women's equality, protest comes in all shapes and forms. Your politics is your politics. You may not agree with these people's politics, but we do have to respect their right to use their right and, you know, use their amendment right is what I'm saying. Whether you like it or not. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying they have a right to do what it is they want to do. And it points to the bigger picture at hand. Equality should be a damn policy. And that's my Real Leel blog for the week. It's up on the Real Fans Will Talk website with my name on it, highlighted in red. So, yes, that's where I wanted to start. Shout out to the women's soccer team for winning the World Cup. And on today's conversations with Real Leel, I want to get into some basketball because the NBA seems to be the gift that keeps on giving, ladies and gentlemen. We don't even got to wait for Christmas in December. Christmas is every day when it comes to the NBA. I want to talk about the NBA. I want to talk about some tennis. And that's about it. So let's start off with the NBA, right? Russell Westbrook, we're going to start off with the big news. Russell Westbrook just got traded to the Houston Rockets for CP3, 2 first-rounders, and 2 pick swaps. So what are my instant reactions to this? Well, it looks good on paper. But at the end of the day, is that paper going to get a good grade? These are 2 ball-dominant players we're talking about in Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Their usage rate is the highest in the NBA, both of them, right? And it seems like when it comes to this dude, Daryl Morey, who is the GM of the Rockets, this brother is always chasing the big name. And we, as Americans and as football too, but as a sports fan, we need to know, right? If we really want to call ourselves the sports guru, right? The sports professor, or the sports, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? You got to know that dealing with big players, when it comes to the big name players, it looks good, but it's all about fit as well. You're going to have good players, but they don't fit in your system, right? And it seems like with this dude, Daryl Morey, all he do is chases after the big name, no matter if they fit in his system or not. He don't care. Carmelo, right? Dwight Howard. Who else? There's a couple people. Dwight Howard, Melo. There's talks that, he going to try to be an Iguodala. There's talks that he's trying to go after somebody else. I forgot who. But they're looking at somebody else. They try to go get Jimmy Butler. They don't care if they fit in their system. They just want the big name. That's all they do is, all right, the big name, we want him. But they got to be fit too. You got to look for somebody that fits in your system. Mike D'Antoni, he wants a system where, you have to have plays that fit in his system in order for it to work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it looks good, but it looks interesting. I'm going to be watching. The fans will be watching. But will it translate to a championship? And I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I know the argument could be made that, yes, these 2 guys, they played together before, right? They was on the same team. They wanted to play together. But at the same time, we have to realize this. These are 2 different players now. When they played together, Harden was coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So it's Russell Westbrook, who had the keys to the car throughout his whole career in OKC. Even when Kevin Durant was there, even though we all know Kevin Durant is a better player, Russell Westbrook still stole the show because back then he was ball dominant and he was a stat padder back then. I see him improve last year, so my criticism for Russell Westbrook started to diminish a little bit as the year went by. But he was a stat padder back then. So a guy who has the key to the car for all these years is going to take a step back and say, Harden, do your thing. Dribble the clock out. I'll stand. I'll wait for you to shoot your shot up. It's not happening. Because that's exactly what they do in D'Antoni's system. All it is guys race to the 3-point line, let James Harden run out the daggone clock and hand it to you with 3 seconds left to go in the shot clock. There's too much of that. And Russell Westbrook is not going to stand there. So how is this going to work? You know what I'm saying? How? I don't know. How is this going to work? So it's almost like this. It's almost like a child, right? Because, let's say any of y'all fathers watching this live, right? You have a child, your favorite child, right? And let's say he's your only child. He or she is your only child. And you spoil that child right? You give the child everything he wants. You can do anything. Just like how James Harden could do anything in that offense. He runs the show. You can do anything. You can get anything you want. You get the sneakers. You can get all that. Anything you want. I got it. Daddy, I want that. You got it. Right? And then you decide to adopt another child to come into the household knowing that you spoiled this child a lot. So the child is going to sit here and be like, listen, I take a step back here. Dad, spoil him too. No, the child is going to feel type of way because he's used to getting spoiled. And then he's going to start thinking that, what's going on here. So with that being said, Russell Westbrook coming over, is Harden going to say, all right, let me take some of my privilege away. Let me let Russell Westbrook do his thing. And it can't happen like that. It can't. Because Russell Westbrook, it's not going to be his offense. Russell Westbrook is going to have to be the guy that's going to have to make sacrifices, but the most out of the two. But Harden still is going to have to make some sacrifices. And then Tony is going to have to make some sacrifices and change a few things if it's going to work. So I just don't know. I may be wrong. These guys may, because they want to play together, may come and figure it out. Take a step back. Each of them, and they may be one of the best duos. Top 3, top 4, possibly. There's a lot of duos in the NBA right now. Good duos at that. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But for me, honestly, in my opinion, I don't see how this works. I don't see how it works. But nevertheless, Russell Westbrook was loyal to OKC. You know what I'm saying? He was loyal to the franchise. He was one of those players, and I like that because there's a lot of player movement in the NBA. All right, you got guys that all they want to do is stack up the deck. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron James, and I'm not trying to criticize LeBron James. I know there's a lot of LeBron James fans out here, but he's one of the dudes that they like to stack up the deck, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I like the dynamic duels that they got right now. But I don't like the 3 players on a team. Let's stack the deck. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? Let's not hold hands, do the cha-cha slide. None of that. Let's play basketball like the rivalries in the Celtics and in the Lakers. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson for back then. That's what I like. So, with that being said, there's a lot of player movement. But Russell Westbrook was loyal to that franchise. He said, I'm going to stay here. Y'all draft me. Y'all gave me y'all all. I'm going to give y'all my all. And that's very rare in the NBA. You saw Damian Lillard. He did it. He did it. He did it too recently. He just resigned there. Say he don't want to join nobody. He want to stay where he at. And I like guys like that. I respect that. Because I respect competitiveness. Yeah, not everything is a competition. But at the same time, I want to prove that I'm better than you, and then at the end of the day, we can go to the bar and sip on a coconut, pina colada, or whatever. But at the same time, we gotta play amongst each other, right? We gotta play against each other to see who it really is the best. That's what it's supposed to be. Who is the best, right? Not who can stack the deck. Who is the best? That's what sports should be about. You know what I'm saying? If Serena and Venus, right? Because I'm gonna talk about Serena in a minute. If Serena and Venus and all the good girls, right, or in football, if everybody set the deck on the same team, all the stars, what the hell would we be watching? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got to say about that. But it brings a larger question at hand, right? Which is this: the player-controlled NBA free agency. That's another topic that's being brought up in the sports world. Adam Silver, he went and said that it is a problem. And I do agree that it is a problem for a few instances. One, because, and what's crazy? Back then it couldn't have happened. So you probably like, yo, what's going on? Why? Oh, you not for player movement, da-da-da. But at the same time, not everybody should play for the Lakers and daggone the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? There's other teams. Everybody seems they just want to go to L.A. So if everybody's going to L.A., who the hell is going to play for OKC? Who the hell is going to play for Charlotte? You know what I'm saying? And it does a disadvantage to the fans. You know what I'm saying? of those smaller organizations. So it's almost like everybody want to go to LA, but who's going to go here? So guys ain't going to want to go to the game. There's nothing to see. And then on top of that, you got guys resting because it's a long season, superstars. So teams, let's say, for example, I'm going to use OKC as an example because they're about to be terrible now. They're about to go in a full rebuild. Right? All them draft picks, it's going to be a full rebuild. Ain't nobody going to be going to OKC games unless you're loyal OKC fans. Unless you're loyal. Let me correct. Unless y'all loyal to the core. But a lot of people ain't gonna go to OKC games to see OKC. They're gonna go to see the superstars. And if they're not playing, then they're not even gonna go because their team is bad. So that's what I'm saying about NBA controlled free agency. Everybody want to play together. Everybody want to go to LA. So that's what I think. I think it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And yes, the franchises is not the loyalist either. As you can see, dudes get traded. But at the same time, they need a... I'm not a commissioner, so I don't got the answers. They need to do something. You know what I'm saying? Put some stipulations. You know, I don't know. But guys are not taking the money anymore. There's a lot of guys that the money ain't helping. Because a lot of guys is walking away from money. Kawhi Leonard had an opportunity to get paid on San Antonio. He walked away. He got an opportunity to get paid in Toronto Raptors. He walked away. And it's because these players got endorsements. They don't even need the bread. They got endorsements and deals and all that, and Nike commercials and Nike ads and all that stuff. They walking away from that is like walking away from nothing. It's almost like, you know, you just had a Thanksgiving dinner and then somebody offered you some food on the street and you like, I just ate. But I need that for. I just ate already. I'm good. I ate. I'm full. Thanksgiving. You feel me? So it's like that. These players are already good. They don't need the money. So I'm not a commissioner. So I don't have the answers for y'all. I'm just saying from an opinion base. This is a bit opinion-based channel. This is an opinion-based live conversation. It's all opinion-based. Everybody's free to have their own opinion. I respect people's opinion. Whether I agree or not, you know, that's another question. We can debate, you know, but it's an opinion. That's how I see it. I don't have the answers on how they could fix it. That's why I'm not the commissioner. And that's why Adam Silver is the commissioner. And that's why the brother... he got his work cut out for him. But other than that, I'm sort of liking where the NBA is today. Can't talk about tomorrow. You know, I'm not talking about literally tomorrow. You feel me? I'm talking about like tomorrow in regards to the future. But I like where the NBA is today. All right? You have duels, dynamic duels all over. Right? Kyrie and KD on the Nets. You feel me? You got LeBron and the Brow, Anthony Davis on the Lakers. You got Kawhi and PG-13 on the Clippers. You got Westbrook, Harden on the Rockets. Whether that work or not, it's still a good tandem for the regular season. I believe it will probably work in the regular season. Don't get me wrong, but it will probably fluctuate in the playoffs. But you have all these tandems. Did I forget something? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go from the top of the dome. I probably did, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of tandems out right now, and a lot of teams with good quality players. Denver, the Jazz, the Celtics, who else? The Pacers. Good quality teams in that mix. So you got the big dynamic duos, and you got the quality teams that don't have the dynamic duos per se, but they got a good, legitimate, good team in order to compete. There's about 5 teams, right, that literally have a shot to win the championship. And I like that because at least we're not going into the season saying, well, you know what? We all know the Warriors going to win. Hopefully something happens good in the NBA through the regular season. Some good matches that go to overtime. That's like, oh, yeah, Damian Lillard hit a shot. Whatever at the buzzer. No. We don't got to go through it like that. All right, the Warriors is that. Oh, yeah, you still got the Splash Brothers. That's another dynamic duo that I forgot to bring up. But it's not like that anymore. We actually don't know who's going to win. You may have an opinion, but you don't know for sure who's going to win. Back then, we knew for sure, outside of the injuries that took place with the Warriors, and that was the only reason why they lost to the Raptors, we don't know. You can sit here and say the Lakers or the Clippers are not. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because we don't know. We don't know. And you do got to take into the account injury as well. So, I like that. I feel like the NBA is better this way. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know. You feel me? That's what stuff's supposed to be about. You know, you don't know till you see it. And it hits you in the face. Bang! You feel me? That's what it's supposed to be. Not supposed to be, oh yeah, I know, but you know, like think about going to your to the movies. You spend money. Obviously, you don't spend money in the NBA unless you have League Pass, but it's free. But you're still spending your time, right? Time is money. We all know the saying. You go to the movies. You see this scary movie. Imagine knowing everything that's gonna happen, right? Like, yo, I know this guy's gonna come out, and you gonna jump at that point, and there's gonna be a scare. Imagine knowing that. It's just almost like you know it. It brings it don't bring the energy now. The fun is out of it. But imagine going to a movie and everything is you don't know what's gonna happen. It just gets you off guard. You're like, oh, you drop your popcorn and all that. You're like, yo, this movie is great. That's what I feel about the NBA. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen at that point. I'm literally going there and not knowing who's gonna win. And I'm gonna be like, wow. That's how I feel about the NBA. And that's how I like it. But let's see. What else they got in the NBA? Oh, yeah. Before I go into tennis, I got something else in the NBA that I want to talk about. You feel me? I want to talk about Chauncey Billups. He made some comments that I actually agree with on Carmelo Anthony. Right? Chauncey Billups said this. Scoring 30 meant too much to Carmelo. And now he is 35 years old and still has the same mentality. He hasn't mentally taken the step back to say, okay, I'll come in and play against the backups and try to help this team out the best way I can. To me, there's nothing wrong with anything this brother Chauncey Billups just said. Nothing wrong at all. Everything he said was facts. You feel me? Carmelo is one of those dudes, right? You all have those people that you know of. Just regular people. They don't act like they're regular, but they're regular human beings. That, you know, they think they all that. I know people like that. You know, every time you go somewhere, it's selfie. Look at me. I'm chilling. I'm lit. This and that. You already know. Look at me. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. Da da da. You have those people that's all like they really think they everything. They think there's nothing more with them. But in all actuality, they ugly, they stink, and they not all that. I'm not saying Melo's those characteristics. What I'm saying is Melo still thinks he's great. Melo still thinks he can dominate a game. And probably he could dominate a game. You know, here and there. But he still thinks he could dominate the league. He still thinks he the same Melo. He still thinks he the Olympic Melo. He still thinks he the Denver Melo. But no. The brother's as soft as yellow. He's not the same Melo at all. And he thinks he is. And so, because of that, he's just thinking the whole NBA hates him. When is this brother going to realize that if he was so mellow, he would still be in the league? He would still be on the team. Do you really think, does he really think the NBA is just hating? Like, what? The NBA is about making money. If you're a superstar and you're making money, you still got a lot. A team is going to take you. So, why hasn't Melo simply say, all right, you know what? Maybe these people are right. Maybe all these media hosts and media personalities, and the reason why I'm not on an NBA team, maybe there is someone. Maybe I need to reevaluate my life. He hasn't taken a backseat at all. He hasn't taken a backseat when it came to cheating, because he's still cheating on Lala, and he sure haven't taken a backseat in the game. He hasn't. When is he going to do that? When he was asked to come off the bench in OKC, he said, I ain't coming off no daggone bench. Please. That's what he said. And look where he's at. So, you see, Melo he was one of the good players, but his style of play it's not gonna last. It didn't last, and unless he changes a few things and accept the fact that you're not the same player anymore, they come off the bench. Maybe he'll get picked up by a team. You see, it brings me to the Knicks when he was on the Knicks. Yes, he had those few good years where he led the team in scoring, but he had. And I see the same thing in Harden. But I'm not saying that Harden's going to end up like Carmelo. But I'm seeing the same thing. When you have the freedom to do what the hell you want, you basically run a franchise. You're the go-to scorer. You can ISO. You can get your shot up all the time. Then it becomes like you spoiled. You think, all right, I have to run a team. And that's why I don't know what this Westbrook and Harden tandem is going to do. Because it's almost like, you know, you got to take a step back. Will Harden take a step back? Carmelo, I'm not saying they two games. I mean, they have two different games, but it's kind of like they the same as far as their mentality. Is Melo going to take a step back? He didn't take a step back. He's not on a basketball team. So that's what I'm saying. He hasn't did that yet. And I agree with everything what Chauncey Billups has to say with Carmelo. I mean, I am a little bit surprised knowing that they play together, that he actually said it on TV. You know, I'm pretty sure Carmelo is not liking to what he had to say, but it's a daggone truth. And sometimes the truth, well, not sometimes, all the time, the truth shall set you free, my brother. And that's just what it is. So I agree with everything Chauncey Billups had to say about Carmelo. Because it's true. The brother having sat there and said, you know what? Maybe. Maybe I'm not as good anymore. Well, that's his fault. He ain't going to be in the league. So we'll see what happens. You know, maybe we might have seen the last game ever, you know, when he played. You know what I'm saying? We may not see him again. Who knows? The Lakers may, you know, reach out, you know, but like I said, things look good on paper, but they don't work. You know, they don't work. And, you know, going back to the Russell Westbrook and Harden for a minute, right? Going back. Switch it. Let's bring it back real quick. Because I forgot to touch on this. So, right now, with CP3, obviously, I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder have no, you know, intentions of letting him even suit up in a uniform. He probably won't even come to the daggone practice facility. They want to trade him. Miami is backing off in that. From what I'm hearing, they're backing off. Like, we asked for Russell Westbrook. We didn't ask for CP3. You feel me? A guy that has a year longer contract and more and you know, just about the same amount of money, but a year more. And a couple years older. Nah. We good. So what's OKC gonna do now? So then, you know, he probably have to buy out or whatever and go somewhere. We don't know. But that's another thing with Carmelo. I mean, not Carmelo. CP3 is he's not a saint. The brother get away with a lot. Because he's, you know, head of the players union. He get away with a lot. But this brother, right, just like how we criticize Russell Westbrook for not being a good teammate, and I want to get into that too. Because a lot of people criticize Russell Westbrook. I have been one of those people in the past, and yes, there's a few things I can still criticize. But let me be nice. I like what Russell Westbrook brings to the table. I like his energy. His tenacity. He's one of those guys, he attacks the paint like the paint took his girlfriend. He gives you 100%. There's a lot of dudes in the NBA because it's so three-point driven and you know, shooting the lights out the building, where if they shot is not falling in the game, that's it. They bodies on autopilot. They like, okay, I can't contribute no more because I can't shoot. So they just stand around there looking like they in the wilderness. But when it comes to Russell Westbrook, when his shot's not falling, he finds 10,000 other ways to impact the game. Whether it be rebounds, assists, you know, just his effort. Defense, whatever. And that's what I like about Russell Westbrook. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook, there's a lot of things he got to work on. Can't shoot threes. His free throw percentage was around 60% last year. He got to fix that. You know what I'm saying? He has to fix that. And there's a lot of things that he has to fix. You know, so for KD's business partner, who came out and said nobody wants to play with Russ, that may be a fact. And it's not to per se criticize Russell Westbrook. It's just like his style of play doesn't really translate to having another star with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a guy like Kevin Durant, when he was on Russell Westbrook, there were times that Kevin Durant went cold a little bit because Russell Westbrook dominated the ball. It's just his play. He dominates the ball. You know what I'm saying? He brings it, but he dominates the ball. So a lot of guys don't want to play with him. And a lot of guys don't want to play with LeBron James anymore. Because those are two guys that, yes, they impact the game, but the way how they impact the game. So, where I was going with this, with CP3, he's one of those dudes that he needs to be criticized. A lot of people criticize, guys for their, chemistry with teammates and stuff like that, and how nobody wants to play with them. But nobody wants to play with CP3 as well, because CP3 was on the clip. He was on a couple teams. He asked to be, leave, whatever. He asked, him in on the Clippers. He had the fallout with DeAndre Jordan. He had the fallout with Blake Griffin. He had the fallout with a lot of other individuals in the NBA, and now he had to fall out with Harden. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I don't blame all of it on him on the Harden situation, because there was times Harden was acting like a brat, and Harden is spoiled, like I said. And guys that are spoiled, like human beings that I know of, when they're spoiled by their parents, they act like a brat in the streets. So I know how James Harden acted like the brat. Like, there was a conversation, there was a story that, they was on the practice field, and Harden was like, let me practice by myself. I normally do this, I normally do that. And CP3 wanted to practice somewhere, he didn't want to practice with CP3, so he's spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So I know it was not all CP3's fault, but guess what? History don't lie, unless it's fake history. And history has shown that CP3 don't do well with teammates. Not fully exempting James Harden in this picture. So I don't know what OKC's going to do when it comes to CP3. I expect them to trade him, but who is going to take on that contract? I'm pretty sure the Knicks ain't doing that. Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan. And we normally, we have a history on us, but we seem to be learning the right way, based on what I'm seeing. When they give Kevin Durant the max contract. And obviously, I'm in agreement with the Knicks for not doing that. Me being a Knicks fan. Because the injury changed everything. So I understand. I'm not blaming the Knicks for not giving him the contract. But they normally used to do that in the past. And they're not going to do it this time. Because they learning. They know they got guys on 2-year deals with player options and stuff like that. They just bought in Markieff Morris. They got in Julius Randle, Wayne Ellington, a couple other dudes. They doing this 2-year deals or whatever, and 1-year deals with player options. So the Knicks seem to be learning, and I don't think they're gonna go back into the abyss by giving this brother a contract. So we'll see what happens with CP3. We'll see what happens with this brother. But one more thing in the NBA I want to touch on before I do move into some tennis. I want to expand my horizons, even though I do watch all sports. Basically, almost all sports. So I said, why not talk about it? But speaking of the Knicks, R.J. Barrett. I wanted to touch on him a little bit. I want to bring up his stats real quick. I normally have my stats prepared, but since I'm in my basement, I felt a little lazy. I'm like, you know what? I'm in my basement, the laptop right here. I can easily look this up during this show. But let me get his stats. Bear with me, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. That's the most important thing. Subscribe to the channel. Definitely. Subscribe to the channel so you can get your updates on when I do live streams, when I post shows for my radio shows. I got 3 radio shows right now that's very active. What's Your Grind Like, the Real Leel Show podcast, and college versions, because I take this show to college with me. And In the Huddle will be starting up in September. In the Huddle Sports Radio Show with me and Kenny C. We going on the 90.5 FM airways. We're going to be talking our talk. But when it comes to R.J. Barrett, right? R.J. Barrett is... You got to... For guys that's criticizing R.J. Barrett, The brother, it's been 4 summer league games. All right, let the brother play. The last game that he had, I believe he scored 21 points. Don't quote me on it because the stats is not coming up. But I think he scored like 21 points. It was a much better game. He limited the turnovers a little bit. But you got to give this brother some time. All right? If you're judging things off a summer league game, then you haven't watched basketball in the past. Because we saw, even in his own team, with Kevin Knox, who had that awesome summer league game, everybody thought he was probably going to be Rookie of the Year. And then Kevin Knox, he had the iffy year. You know, he was is a year full of triumphs. You know what I'm saying? So we don't judge things on the summer league. But RJ Barrett is a guy that I like. I still believe that once he gets acclimated to the NBA, he's gonna be one of those players that's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Zion Williamson, his brother, look out of shape. He looked like he need to go back on that treadmill at Planet Fitness because he looked out of shape in the first game. Obviously, he's not going to be playing no more for the Summer League. But that one game that he played, the half game that he played, the brother looked out of shape. And that's because the brother was doing a lot of, commercials and probably endorsements and stuff like that. So, hopefully he gets in shape in time. And I do believe that the brother will get in shape in time for the NBA season, which I cannot wait for because they already got us. They gave us the appetizer for next year. It's almost like going to the restaurant. We got the appetizer, and we damn sure hungry for the daggone meal. And I'm ready for the NBA season to start because we got the appetizer through free agency. We all know what's going to be. I'm ready for the season to start, but sadly, the season just concluded. Now, I want to jump into the big three real quick. We moving here. We about 36 minutes into the show. We moving. Who say I can't do a show in the basement? Normally I'd be in the studio, but we moving. Some people do the daggone lives from the toilet, and they get all these 30K views from the toilet, like literally taking a shit and doing a live. But, the big three. So Lamar Odom, it's not only Lamar Odom, it's other people. But Baron Davis is one of them. A couple people got released from the big three today. Not today, but this week. And Lamar Odom is one of those guys. Lamar Odom was supposed to be one of the, prize new additions this season. For a guy that had a troublesome past, he had potential in the NBA, but he, went into the abyss with his drug overdose and messing with those Kardashians. There's a line that I always say in my show, if y'all watch me, on my old shows, my current show, every time I come across the Kardashians. Alright, this is for the fellas out here. Stop messing with these Kardashians, please. So we all know about that with Odom. But, we thought, well, okay, the brother's making a comeback. All eyes on the big three to see this brother. And the first game that this brother played in, the brother looked like he never played basketball in his life. I'm not even going to lie. The brother looked, oh my gosh. It was almost like a comedy watching the brother out there. He did not look good at all. The brother looked like, he was in the wilderness, like brother, it was crazy. So I'm not that surprised. I'm not that surprised that he was deactivated from the league. It's just how it is. The big three is stepping the game up. I like the big three. I believe that each year that passes by is a development in the big three, and they taking it serious. They're like, yo, you can go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the NBA in this league. You feel me? You may go to the NBA if you. There's guys right now that's trying out for teams. Joe Johnson is out here killing it. He probably getting looked at an NBA team to get back in the NBA. This could be a pathway for you to get back in the NBA. So now we taking it serious now. So you gotta perform, and Lamar Odom definitely didn't do that. So let me see. He responded. Do I have the response? Okay, hold on. Let me see real quick. All right, so bear with me, y'all. Let me move this phone to this side. Okay. Nice. As most of you, this is from Lamar Odom in an Instagram post. As most of you have heard, the Big Three decided to deactivate me for the remainder of the 2019 season. I respect Ice Cube and other league executives. However, I am extremely disappointed with the way that this has been handled. Besides the embarrassment, it's disappointment. My fault. Besides the embarrassment, it's disappointing to read on IG that this decision had been made, especially without sharing it with myself or my manager. Okay. Well, obviously, from what I just read, the brother is not happy with being released from the Big Three. So yeah, it is what it is, y'all. You got to bring it every night when you step on the court. You feel me? Obviously, we didn't get to see a lot of him, but I don't know if he would have got in tune with the game because he damn sure looked out of shape. But the Big Three will be coming to the Barclays Center on Sunday. I more than likely will be in attendance. You know, I got a media pass, so I'll probably be over there, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I want to get into some tennis to wrap up this show. The last couple of minutes of this show. Obviously, we're in Wimbledon, Wimbledon mode. And Wimbledon is one of my favorite events. It's definitely my favorite tennis event, followed by the US Open. And before I get into the Roger Federer and Nadal, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to go this route. Let's talk about the Rafael Nadal and Federer matchup, right? Me, I'm a dude. I'm all about rivalries. Rivalries are my thing. You feel me? I love rivalries. Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, Boston versus LA. All the great rivalries they were. Frazier versus Muhammad Ali, including the Thriller in Manila. I'm a dealer. You already know. Listen, I'm all about rivalries. I love rivalries. I hate super teams. I love rivalries. Rivalries are everything. Rivalries make sports what sports is today. All right? Rivalries is everything. Federer and Nadal is one of the greatest rivalries in sports. It's right up there. A couple years ago, in 2018, they had one of the longest matches in Wimbledon. I believe it was like 5 hours. It was like a 5-hour match. I mean, it was that long, ladies and gentlemen. So, me, I'm a dude. I love rivalries, and this is one of my favorite rivalries. So today was another showdown between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. So, Rafael Nadal, he lost. Federer won today. The first set, I believe he won 7-6. He won 7-6 in the first set. He came from behind twice because they had the tiebreaker. They had the tiebreaker in the first set. He was down in the tiebreaker twice. He came back, won the first set 7-6. Then the second set, Federer just got smoked. I don't know what happened, but the brother got smoked. Nadal came out swinging. He wasn't playing in the second set, and he ended up winning it 6-1. I mean, literally smoked Federer. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, like, yo, I don't know, because Federer, he wasn't the favorite to win this match. So I'm like, yo, Federer, that's probably going to be where the tides turn. Because, he's older, he just got obliterated, and all the momentum is on Rafael Nadal's side going into the third set. So I thought, Federer was going to take a little step back, and it was going to be the Nadal show. But Federer came out in the third set. It would turn the favor, in the third set, winning that round 6-3. And I was like, all right, Federer really came here to win. He came here to win this round in the semis and in his hopes of beating Djokovic in the final. That's what I thought. I was like, all right, cool. He came to play. And the last set got a little interesting towards the end. Towards the end, it reminded me of the usual Nadal and Federer matches where it's intense and it goes back and forth. Because Nadal wouldn't go away at all. All right? He had, Federer had 5 match points. And it took 5 match points for Federer to finish him. I'm saying to myself, every time when Federer had a match point, I'm like, all right, you just got to get 1 point. It's like, dang, Nadal ended up winning. It's almost like, damn, Federer, can you put him away, please? You know what I'm saying? But Nadal hanged in there. But anyway, Federer ended up winning the match in 4 sets. And he will be going up against the Joker, Djokovic, in the finals. And, obviously Djokovic is going to be the favorite to win. But I'm pulling for Federer. Me, I'm a guy, like I said, I love rivalries. I love greatness. And Roger Federer is probably one of the best to ever do it in tennis. And I want him to get that W. But it's gonna be tough. Because Djokovic definitely has looked good. Especially in the semifinals. So we'll have yet to see. We'll have yet to see. But Serena Williams will be playing on Saturday in the finals. And I made a point, right? And it's not the first time I said it. Anybody that know me, that talk sports with me on a regular, through text and conversations and phone calls, they know I really feel this, and I say it, and I said it before. I even said it last year, right, on one of my radio shows. And I said it again today on my second show on WYGL, and I'm going to say it again for y'all. To me, Serena Williams and this might be a hot take to y'all, but I actually feel this way. Serena Williams, to me, is the most dominant athlete in this past decade, in this current decade. The most dominant athlete, men, female, whatever, any sport, I don't care. Serena Williams is the most dominant athlete in any sport, men or female, in this decade. And there's a reason why I say that. It's a big reason why. And you probably could find that out on WYGL. I don't want to blow everything on this live because I got another show going dropping, and half the show we talk kind of about the same topics. Then we went to hip hop, so I don't want to drop everything. But here's the reason why I say that, and this is purely based on dominance. This had nothing to do with Serena Williams versus Tom Brady. Obviously, it's two different sports. It has nothing to do with Serena Williams versus Roger Federer on the men's side or versus Novak Djokovic. You pair them all together, how is Serena the best? No, I'm talking about on pure dominance. Dominating your own sport. Your own, section. Like how Tom Brady dominates football. I'm talking about that. And Tom Brady, who is my favorite quarterback of all time, who is the GOAT. There's no question about it. I'm a Tom Brady head. Anybody that know me, I have so much respect for this man. This man is the reason why I'm here on this live today and why I do my radio shows, because he would make me love sports, watching greatness. But he's in the top 5. The reason why I ain't pick him number 1 was because, you had other quarterbacks here and there. You had Eli Manning that beat him twice in the Super Bowl. You had Peyton Manning who had his moment. Tom Brady wasn't really, he was dominating. He's dominating. That's why he's in the top 3, top 5. But he had other guys that was there. LeBron James is more the top 10, 15 range to me, because you still had guys that teams that beat LeBron James, his record in the finals, that's not dominance, but he is one of the best players to ever do it. You still had Kobe, to me, where Kobe was eating. So who was competing with Serena Williams? Who? Her sister, who just lost to a 15-year-old? Like, what? Like, no, nobody was competing against Serena. She won a championship with a baby on her stomach. And Tiger Woods is another dude that's up there too. But based on just dominance in your own sport, in your own category, Serena Williams, to me, takes the cake, takes the belt. And I'm going to stick by this. I don't care what y'all have to say. I mean, I do care what y'all have to say, because I'll read the comments, read the debate. But to me, I want to know what y'all think too. Be sure to comment. But to me, Serena Williams is number 1. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually do that. One of my next episodes, I'm going to actually have the full list from number 1 to number 10. Dominant athletes of all time in this decade. Guys that I know off the rip that's going to be up there, there's a few guys. Brady, Woods, and we talking about this decade, not all time, this decade. LeBron, Mayweather, Pacquiao probably, Austin Trout, a lot of guys. So we'll see. Michael Phelps, that's another dude. If y'all came to me and say Michael Phelps, that is compelling. That is compelling. I'm not even going to lie. Michael Phelps, I know it's swimming. And yeah, it's swimming. You feel me? But it is dominance. But, compare swimming to tennis, it's only on dominance. But if both parties are dominating, then, which one is more, harder than the other? You got to go with tennis, right? You running up and down the tennis, right? And, swimming, but he's definitely up there. Y'all have a valid argument with Michael Phelps. You saying, I'm going to definitely do that. Next couple of episodes. I hope I didn't give too much away, but I might do that. Top 10 dominant athletes of all time. I like that. But yes, Serena Williams, to me, takes the crown. She is, to me, the most dominant athlete in this generation, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I really feel. But anyway, I think this pretty much wraps up this, you know, real little conversations, sports conversations, or however I'm gonna name it when the video drop. I think it pretty much wraps up everything. I covered a lot today in this basement. Hopefully I had the same success I did the last time I shot a video in this basement. If not, so be it. It is what it is. I do it because not only for the views, I do it because I love sports. Sports is something I love. I always watch sports. If you came to my house, there's always going to be a TV on with a game or a sports show talking. So, I'm a student of the game. I learn, I sit back, I listen, I watch, I come up with creative things, and I try to be my own guy, my own flow, my own character. And I just love sports, man. I love people that love sports. You feel me? If you're passionate about sports, you're my friend already. I don't even gotta know you. If you sitting here watching this video and you're passionate about sports, whatever it is you watch, you're just passionate about sports, my brother, you're my brother. You're my friend, you know? Because I'm that type of dude. I just love sports, man. Like, sports is just everything. Sports, it brings people together. It gives you something to look forward to. There's certain days you just bored out of your life. And you're like, damn, I'm about to just jump out the window and see if I got some daggone superpowers. I may be Spider-Man. Like, that's how bored you could be. But sports, it always brings a conversation. It always have you talking against the person you talking to. I could talk to sports all day. There's some dudes I text, and we talk about sports all day. All day. That's just how sports is. So if you're a sports fan right now, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that subscribe button because you won't get all the updates when I post my radio shows, when I do live streams, when I post videos. Obviously, my blogs, check that out. I'm a very good blogger, so you want to check that out as well. You saw my piece that I did in the beginning of the show. Equality should be a policy, talking about the women's soccer team. But ladies and gentlemen, I think it's pretty much time to wrap up everything. And in closing, what I have to say is, if you like sports, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace!